Before we dive into today's tense political breakdown, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and stay locked in till the end, because what we're about to unpack has left many South Africans shocked, uneasy, and asking one serious question: what exactly happened behind the scenes with Nathi Mthethwa? This story is layered, emotional, and filled with political strategy, internal conflict, and power calculations that may change how you see the ANC's inner workings forever. Stay with me. In the world of South African politics, nothing ever happens without a motive. Nothing is ever accidental. And when whispers began to circulate that certain influential factions inside the ANC wanted Nathi Mthethwa out of the picture, observers immediately understood something bigger was happening. But here's the twist. The ANC never publicly stated that they wanted him gone. Yet political analysts, insiders, and commentators started piecing together signs. Subtle at first, then painfully obvious. What made the situation intense was the silence. Silence from the party. Silence from key ministers. Silence from Mthethwa himself. And silence, in politics, is often the loudest alarm. For years, Mthethwa held major political influence, serving in various ministerial positions, shaping policy, and playing key roles in government. But politics can shift overnight, and suddenly, the admiration surrounding him seemed to turn into doubt, criticism, and distance. Commentators began asking, was Mthethwa being sidelined? Was he being punished for internal disagreements? Was this part of a much larger restructuring within the ANC? These questions created a climate of fear and uncertainty, not only within the party but among South Africans watching from the outside. And that's where the real story begins. If there's one thing that continues to shape South African politics, it's factionalism. Behind every decision, every reshuffle, every leaked report, there are competing interests pulling strings. And in this case, political insiders claim the pressure building up around Nathi Mthethwa came from rival factions competing for influence. Power blocks trying to install their preferred loyalists. Strategic repositioning ahead of elections. Internal criticism over certain government decisions. Shifting alliances within the top leadership. Whether these claims were exaggerated or not, one thing was clear. Mthethwa was at the center of an internal storm he could no longer ignore. While the ANC never officially announced that they wanted Mthethwa gone, the political choreography was unmistakable. Committee influence reduced. Cabinet speculation swirling. Senior leaders distancing themselves. Media narratives turning colder. Senior analysts hinting at an internal push-out strategy. This was not an overnight decision. This was calculated, measured, and executed quietly, but aggressively. Nobody knew exactly when the tipping point came, but when it did, the political atmosphere shifted dramatically. South Africans watching from the outside felt the tension immediately. For some, it was a sign of accountability. For others, a sign of political cleansing. And for many, it was simply another reminder that South African politics is a high-stakes game, where anyone, no matter how influential, can be pushed aside without warning. Every new headline added more anxiety. What is really happening behind closed doors? Who's really in control? And why Nathi Mthethwa, why now? As the speculation intensified, so did the public's fear that something much deeper was unraveling inside the ANC, something not being openly discussed. Political analysts offered several possible explanations. A new wave of ANC restructuring meant some long-standing leaders risked losing political relevance. Disputes over arts, culture, and sports funding may have created friction. As the ANC prepares for future elections, certain leaders may be seen as too risky to keep in high-profile roles. Some analysts believe old rivalries may have resurfaced at the worst possible time. Each theory added more tension, more pressure, more suspicion. Whether the ANC truly wanted Nathi Mthethwa gone or not, one thing is certain. This controversy exposed deep cracks within the party. And those cracks raise serious questions. How stable is the ANC internally? Who's really pulling the strings? Which leaders are next? And what does it mean for the country's future? South Africa is watching closely, very closely. Because when a major political figure faces silent pressure, the ripple effects are never small. If you found this breakdown eye-opening, unsettling, or worth discussing, then make sure you subscribe, like, and comment below. This story is still developing, and you don't want to miss what comes next. Stay tuned. Because in South African politics, nothing is ever what it seems, and this might just be the beginning.